Welcome to Crosspointe.
Welcome to Crosspointe.
Welcome to Crosspointe.
We are an inclusive faith community
seeking to live out the loving, just, and generous way of Jesus.
We are participants in a long tradition
that's less concerned with doctrines and dogma that demand total agreement,
but a life to be lived, enjoyed, and given away to others.
What unites us is a growing awareness that life is precious.
That we are made by love in order to love.
This community is comprised of and affirms the entire human family.
Regardless of race, age, creed,
physical abilities, marital or economic status,
gender identity, or sexual orientation.
So, if you're curious and have come to see,
if you are tired and have come to rest,
if you are grateful and have come to share,
if you are wounded and have come to heal,
if you're joyful and have come to celebrate,
if you are uprooted and have come to belong,
welcome home.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Hey Crosspointe, hopefully you followed the announcements the past few weeks and know that this will be brief today. But before we jump into the uniqueness of the day, I wanted to make sure and remind you about some key announcements. One, if you're a parent and you're looking for handles on how to reimagine conversations around faith in your own life and the kind of faith and faith practices we help foster in our kids, without the baggage that many of us can carry around some of those topics, our next parenting lab is for you. So on Tuesday, November 12th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be having an online parenting lab event led by a pastor and parent, Sarah Swatzendruber. Sarah is from Oregon, and she has spent the last 10 years journeying alongside others as they discover a more expansive view of God and helping parents create sustainable, age-appropriate, healthy spiritual practices for kids. And so, if you're interested in participating, simply go to crosspointe.org/events. You can click on the Parenting Lab listing there, and then you can register to be sent the online link to the event. Secondly, if you were within driving distance of Crosspointe's campus in North Carolina, we're going to be hosting another community conversation on Sunday morning, November 10th at 11:30 a.m. right after service on white Christian nationalism. It will be led by Dr. Jennifer Garcia-Bashaw and Dr. Tirza Turner, and we'll be discussing what it is, how it's different than patriotism, why it's on the rise, and why it's important to recognize it and work together to dismantle it. So again, if you're interested in attending and participating in this important conversation, go to crosspointe.org/events. You can click on the Community Conversations link to register and get all the details, including those about food and childcare options that are available. And then, as we invite people each week, if you're willing and able to help fund Crosspointe, who we are and what we do together as a community, all the different ways we strive to show up and be a voice of love and hope in the world with our words and our actions, I invite you to go to crosspointe.org/contribute. There's a variety of different ways you can contribute there. You can give by card, check, stock, PayPal, text, all the things. You can contribute one time or you can set up recurring contributions, however you want to do it. But this community doesn't exist without all of us who are willing to fund it, believing we can do way more together to make a difference in our world when we leverage our generosity together than what any of us can do individually. Now, if you want to stay more in the loop on all these types of announcements and opportunities, those like I've mentioned today and lots of others that we say every week, wanted to remind you that we send out an email once a week with usually a bit of encouragement and then these types of announcements, as well as other opportunities that we don't have the time to always mention here and may be more specific. And so we super creatively call this the e-news. So if you haven't signed up for that yet, it only takes 1 minute. Just go to crosspointe.org/e-news. There's one for the whole church, and then there's also separate e-news for middle school and high school events as well that you can sign up for to stay in the loop on everything going on around Crosspointe. And then lastly, hopefully you've heard on the announcements here the past several weeks and in our emails that today is different than our typical Sunday service. In Cary, North Carolina, hundreds of people are gathering together on our campus to partner with an organization called Rise Against Hunger for a meal packing event in the hopes of packaging over 60,000 meals for people in emergency need. For those of you who are participating online and not able to make it, we want to invite you to participate in this day of serving wherever you're at in the world in your own context. For the past few weeks, we've tried to point you towards several ideas to prompt you to find ways to serve in your own communities wherever you are. You can find those ideas at crosspointe.org/activeservice Sunday. As a reminder, in just a moment, we'll post those ideas on the screen for you if you haven't had a chance to look at them yet. But whether you use one of these ideas or you come up with your own, our hope is that you'll simply take some time today to find a way to serve someone else, to show up with a bit of love in some tangible way and put just a bit more goodness into the world. And then we'll be back next week with our more typical services, both online and in person. So Crosspointe, as always, thanks for being you. It's an honor to partner and serve with you. You're loved.
If you would like to know more or get connected to Crosspointe, go to crosspoint.org. If you're in need of care or assistance, go to crosspoint.org/care. And welcome home.